Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks to Dad, by each 12, I had mastered a schedule worthy of the most efficient CEO. Sometimes I griped and mourned I was a kid, but even then I secretly liked knowing that I had an edge over my classmates. Dad gave me a serious head start on the discipline and mentality it takes to be dedicated and responsible to achieve whatever I set out to achieve. It's no accident that the tagline of Success magazine is What Achievers Read. Today, Dad and I joke about what an addictive overachiever he trained me to be. At 18, I was making a six-figure income in my own business. By age 20, I owned my own home in an upscale neighborhood. By age 24, my income grew to more than $1 million a year. And by age 27, I was officially a self-made millionaire with a business that brought in more than 50 million in revenue. That just about brings us to the present day. Because I'm not yet 40, but I have enough money and assets to last my family the rest of my life. There are lots of ways to screw up a kid, Dad says. At least my way was a pretty good one. You seem to have done pretty well. So, while I admit that I have had to practice sitting on my hands and being present in the moment or chilling out peacefully in a beach chair from time to time without taking a pile of business books or self-improvement CDs with me. I'm grateful for the success skills I learned from my dad and my other mentors along the way. Compound effect reveals the secret behind my success. I am a true believer in the compound effect because Dad made sure that I lived it each and every day until I couldn't live any other way if I tried. But if you are like most people, you are not a true believer. There are lots of perfectly understandable reasons why. You haven't had the same coaching and example showing what to do. You haven't experienced the payoff of the compound effect. As a society, we have been deceived. We have been hypnotized by commercial marketing, which convinces you of problems you don't have and sells you on the idea of insta fixes to cure them. We have been socialized to believe in the fairy tale endings found in movies and novels. We have lost sight of the good, old-fashioned value of hard work and consistent work. Let's examine these hurdles one by one. You haven't experienced the payoff of the compound effect. The compound effect is the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small, smart choices. What's most interesting about this process to me is that even though the results are massive, the steps in the moment don't feel significant. Whether you are using this strategy for improving your health, relationships, finances, or anything else for that matter, the changes are so subtle they are almost imperceptible. These small changes offer little or no immediate result. No big win, no obvious I told you so payoff. So why bother? Most people get trapped up by the simplicity of the compound effect. For instance, they quit after the 8th day of running because they are still overweight, or they stop practicing the piano after 6 months because they haven't mastered anything other than chopsticks, or they stop making contributions to their IRA after a few years because they could use the cash and it doesn't seem to be adding up too much weight. What they don't realize is that these small, seemingly insignificant steps completed consistently over time will create a radical difference. Let me give you a few detailed examples. Small, smart choices plus consistency plus time is equal to radical difference. The magic penny. If you were given a choice between taking $3 million in cash this very instant and a single penny that doubles in value every day for 31 days, which would you choose? If you have heard this before, you know the penny gambit is the choice you should make. You know it's the course that will lead you to greater wealth. Yet, why is it so hard to believe choosing the penny will result in more money in the end? Because it takes so much longer to see the payoff? Let's take a closer look. Let's say you take the cold, hard cash and your friend goes the penny route. On day 5, your friend has 16 cents. You, however, have $3 million. On day 10, it's $5.12 versus your big bucks. You're spending your millions, enjoying the heck out of it, and loving your choice. After 20 full days, with only 11 days left, Penny Lane has only $5,243. How is she feeling about herself at this point? For all her sacrifice and positive behavior, she has barely more than $5,000. You, however, have $3 million. Then the invisible magic of the compound effect starts to become visible. The same small mathematical growth improvement each day makes the compounded penny worth 10,737,418 and 24 cents on day 31, more than 3 times your $3 million. In this example, we see why consistency over time is so important. On day 29, you have got your 3 million. Penny Lane has around 2.7 million. It isn't until day 30 of this 31-day race that pulls ahead with 5.3 million. And it isn't until the very last day of this month-long ultra marathon that your friend blows you out of the water. She ends up with 10,737,418 and 24 cents to your $3 million. Very few things are as impressive as the magic of compounding pennies. Amazingly, this force is equally powerful in every area of your life. Here's another example. 3 friends. Let's take 3 buddies who all grew up together. They live in the same neighborhood with very similar sensibilities. They are all married and have average health and body weight, plus a little bit of that dreaded marriage flab. Friend number 1, let's call him Laddie, plods along doing as he's always done. He's happy, or so he thinks, but complains occasionally that nothing ever changes. Friend number 2, Scott, starts making some small, seemingly inconsequential positive changes. He begins reading 10 pages of a good book per day and listening to 30 minutes of something instructional or inspirational on his commute to work. Scott wants to see changes in his life but doesn't want to make a fuss over it. He recently read an interview with Dr. Mehmet Oz in Success magazine and chose one idea from the article to implement in his life. He's going to cut 125 calories from his diet every day. No big deal. We are talking maybe a cup of cereal less. Switching from mayo to mustard on a sandwich? Doable. He's also started walking a couple thousand steps per day. Less than a mile. No grand acts of bravery or effort, stuff anyone could do. But Scott is determined to stick with these choices, knowing that even though they are simple, he could also easily be tempted to abandon them. Friend number 3, Brad, makes a few poor choices. He recently bought a new big screen TV so he can watch more of his favorite programs. He's been trying out the recipes he's seen on the food channel. The cheesy casseroles and the desserts are his favorites. Oh, and he installed a bar in his family room and added one alcoholic drink per week to his diet. Nothing crazy. Brad just wants to have a little more fun. At the end of 5 months, no perceivable differences exist among Larry, Scott, or Brad. Scott continues to read a little bit every night and listen to audios during his commute. Brad is enjoying life and doing less. Larry keeps doing as he always had. Even though each man has his own pattern of behavior, 5 months isn't long enough to see any real decline or improvement in the situations. In fact, if you charted the 3 men's weight, you'd see a rounding error of 0. They'd look exactly equal. At the end of 10 months, we still can't see noticeable changes in any of their lives. It's not until we get to the end of the 18 months that the slightest differences are measurable in these 3 friends' appearances. But at about month 25, we start seeing really measurable, visible differences. At month 27, we see an expansive difference. And by month 31, the change is startling. Brad is now fat, while Scott is trim. By simply cutting 125 calories a day in 31 months, Scott has lost 33 pounds. Brad ate only 125 more calories more a day in that same time frame and gained 33.5 pounds. Now he weighs 67 pounds more than Scott. But the differences are more significant than weight. Scott's invested almost 1,000 hours reading good books and listening to self-improvement audios. By putting his newly gained knowledge into practice, he earned a promotion and a raise. Best of all, his marriage is thriving. Brad, he is unhappy at work and his marriage is on the rocks. And Larry is pretty much exactly where he was 2.5 years ago. Except now he's a little more bitter about it. The phenomenal power of the compound effect is that simple. The difference between people who employ the compound effect for the benefit compared to their peers who allow the same effect to work against them is almost inconceivable. It looks miraculous, like magic or quantum leaps. After 31 months or 31 years, the person who uses the positive nature of the compound effect appears to be an overnight success. In reality, his or her profound success was the result of small, smart choices completed consistently over time.